Hello and welcome back to UK NBA. I'm RyanHillback.
I'm Peter Wells.
Episode 6, Part 2. And this part is going to be about are teams contenders or are they merely pretenders? So we'll start with the Eastern Conference and the Toronto Raptors. Contenders or pretenders?
I think they're contenders, especially if DeMar DeRozan gets back fit, stays healthy. They're definitely going to get into the playoffs. They're definitely going to be a top 4 team. I think they can really challenge for that top seed.
It's difficult to argue with that. They've only lost twice this season.
4 times now.
4 times now.
Twice.
Twice was twice last week. And 4 times overall.
Again, you've got to imagine as well, 2 of those defeats have been this weekend without DeMar DeRozan. Once he's back.
So obviously he's a key player for them.
Yeah.
Washington Wizards, contenders or pretenders?
Not quite sure yet. They're on and off. I think as far as winning the East Conference, the contenders, they can be in there. I think they've got a chance to get into the final, but I'm not sure if they can go beyond that.
So that's 5 defeats in 10 games for the Wizards.
And they say they've had a really good start, but consistency can be a trouble. And can they do it over a 7-game series against the likes of the Cavaliers, Heat, etc.?
Time will tell us. Yeah. In 3rd position in the Eastern Conference at the moment, the Chicago Bulls. Are they contenders or pretenders?
They're certainly contenders.
They have to be contenders.
They were the one that everyone was looking at the beginning of the season. D-Rose, Pau Gasol, stay healthy. Taj Gibson stays healthy.
You've got a team on your hands there.
You've got a team that can win a championship, can win a series, and that's the main thing. I think the Bulls have got a massive chance at getting through.
So we're in relative agreement at the moment.
Yeah.
Moving on to the Atlanta Hawks in 4th position, contenders or simply pretenders?
I think, again, they're a bit like the Wizards, the contenders where they can push to potentially to the final of the playoffs in the East. But I don't think they'll go all the way. And personally, I don't think they'll quite make past the 2nd round in the playoffs, depending on who they get. I think... again, they've got some great players, but maybe not enough depth, especially on the bench. Schroeder is the best player off the bench at the moment. And I think they'll struggle in the end. But I think they'll get playoffs, certainly. But I don't think they've got a chance at going all the way.
You don't think they'll get any further than that? No prizes for guessing what you're going to say next. Miami Heat are in 5th. Contenders or pretenders?
It's really tough to say. I think they're definitely.
If you took your rose-coloured spectacles off,
if I did that, I'd probably say they're pretenders at the moment because the health of Dwayne Wade isn't certainty. But that's like a lot of teams. If he's healthy, then you've got Dwayne Wade, 3-time champion, Chris Bosh, 2-time champion. You've got several players like Lewis Cole, Chalmers.
Chalmers, not Chandler.
And several others who know how to win a championship, know what it takes. And I think they've got a potential, but I'm not sure over a 7-game series against like the Cavaliers or the Bulls if they can pull it out. Well,
we'll have to wait and see. And in 7th place, watch yourself. Of course, in 6th place was Milwaukee Bucks, but we think they're pretenders.
Yeah, exactly. We can't.
We don't think that they can be put in the same bracket as the teams we talked about. But in 7th are the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Yeah, back to the Bucks. Playoffs would be brilliant for them.
Yeah.
On to the Cavaliers, as you say. Again, you've got to say they're contenders because they've got LeBron James. He's won championships twice. He's been to 5 finals. He'll certainly take them all the way. They've got the potential to do so. Again, the thing with the Cavaliers is if it was a 1-game series in the playoffs, like the NFL, etc., then certainly they would be in trouble because sometimes they can have that bad game.
Yeah, they're good over certain legs,
but
aren't
over
they?
7 games, you think against the Wizards, against the Raptors, against the Heat, against the Bulls, over 7 games they'll get. It's hard to see a team beating them 4 times in 2 weeks.
And then we're not having these in our discussion of contenders or pretenders because for obvious reasons. But in 8th are the Indiana Pacers, 9th are Brooklyn Nets, 10th are Orlando Magic, 11 are Boston Mavericks, 12 are New York Knicks, 13 are Charlotte Hornets, 14 Detroit Pistons, and in last place, we're still yet to register a win. It's 16 defeats in 16 matches, Philadelphia 76ers. Moving on to the Western Conference, leading the way at the moment are the Memphis Grizzlies on a fantastic run of form. They're in 1st position with 2 defeats in 17 matches, 15 wins. Pete, contenders or pretenders?
They're certainly contenders at the moment. You just see the stats. 8-0 at home. So you imagine they get home court advantage all the way through the playoffs.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that home record. I mean, it's mad. Golden State Warriors in second place. Contenders or pretenders?
I think the last few seasons have been pretenders. I think this season they are legit contenders. Curry and Klay Thompson, touch wood, always stay healthy. They need David Lee and Andrew Bogut to stay healthy, though. That's a certainty if they're going to really challenge. But if they turn up on their gate, you can guarantee that 4 games out of the 7, at least 4 games out of the 7, Curry and Thompson are going to be shooting the lights out. You can guarantee every series.
Yeah.
They're hard to beat.
They are. They're a good side as well. They're entertaining to watch, which is always a bonus.
They always say, to beat them, you've got to score at least 115 points.
And that's the thing, yeah.
That's hard to stop.
In the number 3 are the Portland Trailblazers, contenders or simply pretenders?
Well, last year they come unstuck against the Spurs, but that's no mean feat because so many other teams have.
It's nothing to be embarrassed about.
No, not. It's again, it depends on the health of those role players such as Nicholas Batum, Wesley Matthews, Kaman off the bench, and Thomas Robinson, etc. There's a lot of players. They need to stay healthy.
Yeah.
But I think, again, they are contenders. They're legit. If they can get through to the overall finals, I think they've got a good chance against any of the Eastern Conference teams. And because they've had 7 week games against the East, they've won them all. And but it's like the same with every other team. It's getting through the Western Conference, which ain't going to be easy.
In the number 4, the Houston Rockets, contenders or pretenders?
Well, at the moment, James Harden is playing at MVP level. Dwight Howard is on an injury list at the moment, which is not helping. Again, they're not very healthy at the moment. And if they don't get healthy by playoff time, James Harden can't do it all on his own.
No player can. San Antonio Spurs, I'll ask you the same question.
Yeah, basically exactly the same as the likes of Cleveland Cavaliers. They're certain contenders. They've got the players in that. They know how to win a championship. And I said at the beginning of the season, they were my pick to go through to the final and win it. At the moment, a bit of a dodgy start, but 7 wins in a row. They're into 5th, and I'm certain they'll be in the at least round there at the end.
And Dallas Mavericks and LA Clippers, what do you reckon to those 2 teams?
Both of them, for me at the moment, I haven't had the greatest starts. Clippers are on a bit of a run. Mavericks, I said, are dark horses.
You did.
But I'm just not sure if they can again.
If they can get over the line or not, yeah.
They're going to probably end up with a away court in the first round, etc. So it's going to be really tough for them. I think any team that doesn't finish in the top 4 is going to find it tough in the West. Same with the Clippers, but I think they can push up. It depends how high they can finish generally. But this season they've looked like a contender this week. Previous weeks it's a case of, with me for the Clippers, it's they either blow you out or get blown out themselves. This week they've been doing really well against top contenders, but at the moment they're still a pretender.
So running through the rest of the table, in at number 8, Phoenix Suns, 9, Sacramento Kings, 10, Denver Nuggets, 11, New Orleans, 12, Utah Jazz, 13, OKC, 14, Minnesota, and propping up that table, but they did have an impressive win. Last time out are the Lakers. And that is the end of UK NBA Episode 6, Part 2.
Yeah. Thanks for listening, and don't forget to put your comments on who you think are pretenders and contenders.
See you in Part 3.